Everyone went crazy. Every single person went crazy. Backstage, all the groups, they lost it. I lost it. I'm sure everyone on the internet, everyone in the world that has seen this performance, they lost it. Hello everyone! So we are on episode 5 of Kingdom. So a lot is going on just like every week, and this week we saw the performances from 3 spectacular groups. We saw performances from ATEEZ, BTOB, and Stray Kids. Legends. So once again, just letting you guys know, I am a fan of all of these groups. They are fantastic, spectacular, amazing. They all deserve first place because they each have their own charms and talents, and we stan, alright? Also, be aware throughout this video, I will be asking you guys some questions. So this video could be more interactive, so you guys could leave your answers on the comments below. I always love reading your answers. And I've noticed some questions that I've asked you guys in previous Kingdom episodes. Some of your answers have actually come true in Kingdom. So one of the questions I asked you guys is, what type of friendships would you like to see formed on Kingdom? And we actually see some of those friendships happening, and I love that. And I think some of you guys also said that you would like to see some groups perform certain songs, and they actually did. And yeah, so some of the predictions that you guys make actually come true, and I just really love it. I love seeing what you guys say actually happen on the show. Alright, so with all that being said, let's talk about what happened in this episode. Alright, so the first group up in this episode is ATEEZ, and they are covering iKON's song Rhythm Talk. I love seeing Hyunjae arrange the song in the behind the scenes videos. Obviously, he changed the song so it fits more ATEEZ's musical style, but I like how he incorporated Latin elements in it, so it goes with their whole concept and story. So basically, their performance of Rhythm Ta was inspired by the show Money Heist, and it's also supposed to be a prequel to their Wonderland performance storyline. I love how ATEEZ, they're really good at storytelling. They're another group with a solid concept, and I think it was so sweet how Juhaknyeon was cheering for them right before they went up to perform. So sweet. Alright, so when the performance started, it was so smooth. Okay, the fact that they started in like a car and stuff, it was really interesting, definitely attention grabbing. And then how they started the choreography, and then how Sunwoo started the whole performance. The whole entire choreography was so smooth. And then San b-boying, even though this was his first time doing it, he did so well. I think Yeosang also stood out to me, especially during the chorus. I think he did a fantastic job. So something that's really cool is there was a part where San, he's on the floor, but the camera is at an angle, so it looks like he's holding on to a rope, but he also does a type of choreography, and it goes so well with the Latin music that they incorporated in this song. And then the part when it's Hyunjae's turn, and then he has his signature giggle, that little laugh, it was so good to hear. And then when he puts on the headphones and then the song really goes into full-on Latin mode, I think ATEEZ's version of Rhythm Ta was really unique. And again, I like how they added their own color, but at the same time they added the Latin sounds to give more emphasis on their whole storyline. And I don't know if people noticed, but when SF9 was watching their performance, Juyeon, he was kind of holding a sign. I thought that was very sweet. And then, okay, so in their performance, they had this giant like inflatable blimp or something that came out. Was really cool. I think ATEEZ, they're doing a great job with props. Jungho and his high notes. No matter how many times I see this guy sing, I am always impressed. Again, I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. I definitely believe he's ATEEZ's secret weapon. And then in the end, when Hyunjae, he appears wearing his like bandit hat and jacket, and then he breaks the glass, and then he gets the hourglass, which we do see in their Wonderland performance. That was so good. So I would love to see ATEEZ incorporate their Hala Hala concept in their future performances. If you guys have seen their Hala Hala music video, one of my favorites, they have this whole bandits theme, same for In Say My Name. I love that. It's one of the best in my opinion. So good. So if they could incorporate that in their next performance, one way or another, that would be amazing. Okay, so question number 1. If you could pick any second generation group, K-pop group, to do a collaboration performance with any group on Kingdom, which groups would they be? You guys could let me know on the comments below. Alright, next up is BTOB. So I think it was really funny how Eunkwon, he was writing the different names of Stray Kids songs on the board that, again, every time they're on screen, they just lighten the mood, they brighten your day. Even if you're watching it at night, they brighten it, you know, they make you laugh and smile, and I love that. The interaction between BTOB and Stray Kids, again, is another wholesome thing to watch. When they called Stray Kids, it was really funny, and then when Changsub hung up on them was hilarious, and then when they called again, and then when they asked which Stray Kids is their favorite member, and then Changsub again, he hung up the phone on them again. hilarious. Again, leave it to BTOB to make everyone laugh. So Eunkwon mentioned that this performance would be like a gift set, and I think that perfectly describes their performance. It's definitely a bundle because we see a lot of things happening, and yeah. So their performance left me speechless multiple times. So I love how the whole concept, obviously it's backdoor, so they took that term literally. So for the first half of their performance, it takes place backstage, like they're getting ready to perform in a concert or something, and they each have their own dressing room, and I love the detail in all of their rooms and how the performance starts with Eunkwon just walking in dressed in black. He looked like a rock star. Okay, I love that in this performance we definitely saw a different side of BTOB than what we've seen so far on the show. I mean, if you've seen any of BTOB's music videos or performances and stuff, you know they could pull off multiple concepts. But in Kingdom, I like that they branched out and showed this side of them. And then the song starts with Changsub, and he's on the couch playing that guitar. Again, total rock star. And then when it was Minhyuk's turn to appear, if you guys have seen my previous Kingdom video, I said that I wasn't sure if I was ready to watch BTOB's performance. Yeah, I wasn't ready for it. It was amazing. Seeing Minhyuk was so good. My jaw dropped. That man. He's my bias, by the way. In case you guys haven't seen any of my previous Kingdom videos, he is my bias. I say that in every single video, but it's the truth. And then when it was Peniel's verse, I love how he easily just took the hat from the dancer or the girl, and then he put it on, and then he rapped. It was so, the whole entire performance looked so smooth and natural and effortless. And then in the part when they're all together, and then it's right before the screens kind of open and then they go on stage, when Minhyuk is doing his verse, there's a part in the beat that it sounds like a little bit like We Will Rock You, the dun 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 dun. If you've seen the performance, you know what I'm talking about, or you have to go back and rewatch it and then you'll kind of pick up on it. But it did kind of sound like the song of We Will Rock You, and I don't know if they incorporated that on purpose or not, but I thought that was really cool because their whole concept is rock stars. They're each a certain rock star character, and I loved it. I also love how they were able to incorporate their vocals. So Eunkwon and Changsub, they do this powerful harmony, just high notes amazingness, and then Eunkwon just goes all out with his high note, and it is so good. That left me speechless as well. And then we see the reaction of Stray Kids throughout their performance, and they were going crazy. They were all standing and cheering, and honestly, I think they should have just put Stray Kids on the crowd because they had like extras to be the crowd in their performance. And we gotta talk about Minhyuk and the part when he is front and center, and then he just rips his shirt and then everyone went crazy. Every single person went crazy. Backstage, all the groups, they lost it. I lost it. I'm sure everyone on the internet, everyone in the world that has seen this performance, they lost it. Minhyuk's effect on people is incredible. You guys can imagine how I probably reacted watching just that specific part. But overall, their performance was just so fun and lively, that whole rock star concept, and they really brought it to life. And it was, again, such a blast watching it. I felt like getting up from my chair and just dancing along. And you also see it with Stray Kids. I think Stray Kids represents everyone watching BTOB's performance. And again, I love seeing this different side of BTOB on Kingdom, and they just did so good. All right, question number 2. If there were to be a huge collaboration stage on Kingdom that either consists of just all the vocalists from the group, or all the rappers of the groups, or all the dancers, out of all those 3 choices, which one would you like to see? All the vocalists of each group perform together in like one massive performance, or all the rappers, or all the dancers? I know on Road to Kingdom they did something like that, and it was so good. I really do hope that they do something like that on Kingdom. So let me know your answers on the comments below. Next group to perform is Stray Kids. So again, I love seeing the interaction of Stray Kids and BTOB. It's just so wholesome. So I really like that in this performance, it showcases Stray Kids' vocals. Now, a lot of people tend to overlook Stray Kids' vocals because the raps are very prominent. However, if you've seen Stray Kids live, I am super lucky that I was able to actually go to a live Stray Kids concert, like an in-person concert, or in early 2020 when they did their tour, and I can 100% confirm that their live vocals are amazing. All right, I don't know if you see videos of them performing live online and stuff, but if you see them in person singing, their vocals are so good. So trust me, when they say their vocals are amazing, it's because it's really true. And I think same goes for all the groups. I mean, I wish I could watch all the groups live one day, but I'm sure that their vocals are amazing live as well. So with that being said, the performance starts with Sungmin and we hear his beautiful vocals, but then Han starts singing and everyone was shocked. And I think out of all the reactions, my favorite was BTOB. Throughout the performance, Han just hits these high notes and his vocals really shine. So throughout the performance, then Changbin comes and he starts rapping. And again, I love seeing Wooyoung just support Changbin saying, "That's my friend." That is so sweet. I love their friendship. Sungmin, IN, Lino, and Han are vocals. All right, their vocals are so good. Same for Bangchan. When it was Felix's verse, that gave me chills. I think how the whole storyline unfolded was really well done. It kept me on the edge of my seat because I was like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? What is gonna end up happening? And then there's a part that Han starts rapping, and honestly, I love the tag team between Han and Changbin, and they're just rapping back and forth. And I think for this performance, Han was definitely the MVP. He was singing and rapping at the same time. It left a lot of people shocked, but again, Stray Kids, they're multi-talented guys, all right? So the dance break was insanely awesome. And I also like how in the set, the columns and things were just collapsing. Really interesting. And then we hear Chan singing. Yes, another rapper from the group is a vocalist as well. I'm telling you, multi-talented guys. That's what Stray Kids is. They're multi-talented. So one of my favorite moments of the performance is when Changbin is rapping, but then you hear the vocals, especially IN's vocals, so good. So overall, I think their performance, their whole story was really interesting. It was about sacrificing themselves to save the child, and that's what they did. So the ending was really sad, and I think it did leave an impact on everyone that watched it because it's not a happy ending and it's not what you were expecting. I mean, maybe you kind of were expecting it, but still, it's really sad. I think how BTOB was cheering for them in the end was so sweet. Again, those moments are so heartfelt. Seeing all these groups interact with each other, it's just so sweet. Sadly, in the end of Stray Kids' performance, they do show a behind the scenes of IN crying because he felt like he didn't do his best in the performance. And I think this is something that every single performer goes through, one way, shape, or form. Everyone goes through that. They wanted to perform a certain way, but they ended up performing not how they wanted to. As a viewer, I didn't see a single mistake. The whole entire performance was so good in my eyes, but he still felt pretty sad and down about it. But I'm so happy that Bangchan was there to comfort him, and same for all the other members. They started complimenting IN. And I think Bangchan is just a seriously amazing leader. If you know anything about Stray Kids, you know that these guys are brothers and Bangchan really cares for all of them. And he is seriously one of the best leaders. All right, so question number 3, out of all the performances from last week and this week for the Reborn Challenge, which group did you enjoy their remixed version of another group song the best? Let me know in the comments below. All right, so let's talk about the rankings for this week. So we see the professional evaluations, and then we also see the self-evaluations. And I mentioned this in my previous video. I mentioned it several times already. But with this show, you really never know what's gonna happen. And you never know who will be placed where. For instance, in the self-evaluation, we saw that SF9, they were all the way in the bottom, and now they're number 2. So in the expert evaluations, ATEEZ was ranked first, second was the Boyz, third was iKON, fourth was SF9, 5th was BTOB, and 6th was Stray Kids. And that, again, it's very heartbreaking and sad. I hate seeing a group placed in 6th. I absolutely hate it. And then I hate seeing the groups feel so down and sad about it because it hurts me as a viewer, as someone who's a fan of these groups. But again, with this show, you never know. They may be ranked 6th this week, but next week they might be ranked 1st. But remember, they also have to take into consideration global votes, so the whole ranking might change next week. And also, in the end of the day, Kingdom is a show. They need people to stay tuned. They need people to watch, and they want people to be on the edge of their seats. So yeah. But I'm really happy that there are no eliminations on Kingdom. That is something that I am so happy for, because on Road to Kingdom there was eliminations and that was the worst thing ever. Absolutely hated it. But I'm happy that at least in Kingdom there's no eliminations. So it looks like next week's episode is just going to be 80 to 90% of the guys just screaming and them just doing games and things like that. I think it's gonna be a great episode to watch, especially if you're a multi-stan, so you get to see all your faves interact. And I think next week's episode will be super fun. I don't think there's gonna be any performances. I think that'll be for the following week. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really quite sure. But I can't wait for next week's episode. Question number 4. Are you guys excited to watch next week's episode, considering it's just gonna be like a bunch of challenges and games? Because I am. I'm really excited for it. Let me know in the comments below. Alright, so if you guys are new to my channel, hello and welcome. You guys could feel free to subscribe. I post reaction videos on a weekly basis, and I also have a blog where I talk more about comebacks, album reviews, song reviews, and all that good stuff. I'll link it on the description box below so you guys can check it out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.